There are constant stories in the media about Vladimir Putin's deteriorating health. This raises the question what exactly would happen if he passed away, and who would replace him as president. In today's video, we will answer that question. Russian President Vladimir Putin may have shocked many with the invasion of Ukraine, his biggest move since the annexation of Crimea in 2014. However, he has never hidden his intention to restore Russian influence. After ordering the attack on Ukraine, he warned that Moscow's response would be immediate if anyone tried to oppose Russia. Support us by subscribing and liking this video. All eyes have been on the Russian president to see what he will do next. But what has recently been prevalent in the media about Putin are the rumors circulating about his health. Journalists around the world comment on how the Russian president looks at meetings, whether he is limping, shaking, gripping the table tightly, or if his face is swollen. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov claims that these rumors are ridiculous, pointing to the president's lengthy speech at the International Economic Forum in St. Petersburg, where he spoke for 3.5 hours. Think about it. Can a sick person perform like that? Peskov told NBC News. Despite his claims, experts believe that the Russian president might have cancer and needs surgery, raising the question of who would replace this 70-year-old if he dies. In October last year, Putin was directly asked about his successor in an interview on an American television channel. Putin responded, "I prefer not to answer such questions. The Russian leader could remain in power until 2036 if his health allows." He briefly stepped down in 2008, swapping jobs with Dmitry Medvedev and becoming prime minister for 4 years before returning to the presidency in 2012. Last year, he introduced a law that resets the clock on his presidential term, meaning he could serve 2 more 6-year terms, starting in 2024 and 2030. However, who would replace him as president if he dies remains unclear. Russia has a constitution, and it provides that if the president resigns, is unable to lead the country for any reason, or dies, the prime minister becomes the acting president. This is how Putin formally became president for the first time. After Boris Yeltsin's resignation on December 31st, 1999, before winning the 2000 election himself. This means that Mikhail Mishustin, today's Prime Minister of Russia, would assume the role of president if Putin died, for 90 days or until elections are held for his replacement. A former lieutenant general of the Russian Foreign Intelligence Service, who wished to remain anonymous, stated that if Putin is taken in for surgery, the head of the Russian Federal Security Service's Security Council, Nikolai Patrushev, would temporarily take power. However, the former Russian spy added that Patrushev is no better than Vladimir Putin, and if he comes to power, Russia's problems will only multiply. Patrushev has been described as Putin's right hand, and according to Rebecca Koffler, a former officer of the Defense Intelligence Agency, he is the most influential person in the Kremlin bureaucracy and the only person Putin trusts. If Putin does not choose his successor before his death, military officials will fight to take power, which could put Russia's armed forces, chemical weapons, and nuclear firepower into unstable hands. Without a president like Putin, it would be impossible to keep a country of this size together, which could give the USA and EU a chance to crush the Russian economy. Due to the whole situation around Ukraine, Russians are now practically trapped in their country. They cannot travel to Europe. Foreign companies are leaving Russia due to imposed sanctions, leaving a large number of people unemployed. A decline in living standards and a poor economy could lead to a new opposition party and potentially to Putin's overthrow. But whoever Putin's successor is, they won't be able to do the exact same job. Because like Putin's expensive suits, the job description of the Russian president is tailored specifically to the former KGB colonel, regardless of what the Constitution says. When Putin goes, whether tomorrow or in 20 years, the world's largest nuclear power will have to rethink much of its political system. And that process will likely be messy, problematic, and dangerous, both for Russia and for the entire world.